Hello and welcome. It's TPK Tuesday. Hello, everybody. Cody, Exelon, Zebus, Anubis, Ruffian, Job, Octal. Hello, Octal. That cute ass emote. Jayhawk. Thank you very much for 10 months, brother. Incredibly kind of you. Soon you will have your coveted year crown. And Octal. Octal, thank you very much for the 20 months. My God. If only we can make your first badge much shinier. Thank you so much for sticking around, brother. And thank you for all your help. Hello, Major Star-Lord. Just finished the solo sessions. We getting there. Hell yeah, brother. You're almost caught up at that point. The solo sessions are the biggest chunk. Past that, you just have like, I think, a few more sessions and you're fully caught up. Hey, Hale. Starvation system. Yeah, maybe we can work on that too. I want to work on Death's Door and reworking some of the other conditions. A big one, a big few are going to be paralyzed, stunned, dying, and all that fun stuff. So that's what we're going to be working on today. We're going to start by me doing my prep. I'm going to type up my notes, my little prep for the upcoming sessions, because this is the day I do it. And then we'll move right on to the dying condition. No, we like dazed. We like dazed so far. It's just those big ones that take away player actions, because a little bit of context. There was a player death recently, or a character death recently, and that came about as the result of a condition, and so we're gonna change that. We're gonna work to make the game better and not tedious, and hopefully make the game a more enjoyable experience. Friendly fire. Oh my God, Hale. Brother, please. Let's give them a chance first. Glad to see you're not bleeding internally. I still am, Metis. This Saturday, I will be bleeding internally. I even got a new fancy icon just for it. It's going to be great. I cannot wait to play D again. It's so fun. We're probably gonna long rest. We're probably gonna go to the church, try to avoid the bandits in town, because that's another thing I remember from Phandelver is the brigands that have basically taken run of the place. So is depression just a more lively dying condition where the character cannot be asked with living anymore? I think there is an actual quirk in Darkest Dungeon where, like, if you have it, you don't receive any help on, like, Death's Door and stuff like that. Alarix was your favorite? Dude, Alarix was crazy. I thought Alaric was straight up gonna die. I had no idea how he was gonna get out of that. When he started doing the math and he was realizing just how little movement he had left, it was insane. I've got a dying condition for you. Oh, is it the XP to level 3? That's exactly what we were talking about last night. We're gonna add our own little spin. Okay. Should be able to transition over. Kellen's was also very rough. Had Kellen not done what he did, Kellen might also be a smear on the forest floor. So, you know, no big deal. Okay, so like I said, first things first, I'm gonna do my prep. So I'm gonna write up my my episode preps, and then we'll go from there. So yeah, should be episode 6-7, the Southern Journey, and episode 68 in Pale Moonlight. Is the fun little twist instead of exhaustion a decent chance to succeed but forever fucking your max HP? Oh god. Well I'll explain the concept in better detail when I finish up my prep. Once I finish my prep, we'll jump right into the death store mechanic and I'll explain everything. What the idea is, how it's going to function. We're going to make items that work with death's door, all that stuff. I put on some country bowl. Okay, my Spotify stopped working. Amazing. Very pog. Task. Start again. Yeah, first tidy sheets, now Spotify. Yeah, that's just my luck, brother. There we go. Okay, cool. Okay, so I gotta check the hex map just to make sure my dates are correct. I believe it was Ettercap fight and Ruin. Long rest. 6. Boom. Okay, so they it is middle of the night. It is midnight for them on the 7th of Rain's Wrath. Very neat. DM for one of my games has an interesting version of dying that I could throw out for ideas. Hell yeah! When we start working on it, I'd love to hear it. I like the new exhaustion. I also like the new exhaustion. I think 10 exhaustion's very good. I feel like it should be its own thing. Like it should be called fatigue. Exhaustion should be reserved for serious situations. Oh, interesting. Oh, so you're saying there should be both? Curious. How you doing, Kron? I'm doing fantastic. How about yourself, Ruffian? Hello, Tyler. We Dungo and Darkening? Yes. Currently, yes. Our Dungo and Darkening is currently me doing prep for my upcoming sessions, and then we're gonna work on the dying mechanic or the dying condition. Okay. What am I doing? I have it literally written down. That's right. 24 silver pieces. 43 copper pieces. 1 onyx because they rolled really low. No, it's an obsidian. NSP. And some bandages. Okay. And being the shit out of stun and paralyzed. That's right. I really want to try D&D. Almost had a group a few months ago, but my mental health hasn't been the greatest lately. Only really tried the Star Wars TTRPG and world building for Pathfinder. I started with Pathfinder because it was the cheapest TTRPG option available to me. I just wanted to make a world. Completely understandable, brother. And I mean, hey man, if you're looking for games, I know there have been people within the community recently that have been hosting these free games, right? We have whole portions of the Discord dedicated to people running games and everything like that. So if you're ever looking for one, maybe just poke your head around the Discord if you're feeling up to it, that is. Don't feel like you have to force yourself. Correct, Tyler. Real life stuff is always important, and real life should always take precedent over, hobbies and things like that. You need to take care of yourself. But maybe once you've sort of taken a moment, caught your breath, and you feel more comfortable, then, you can poke around the Discord, see if anybody's running a game, or hey, maybe you could try running a game. Hello from Germany. What's going on? Hello, Hoyle. I'm currently doing prep. But once I'm done with this, we're gonna hop over and start working on the dying condition, as well as reworking some of the other more nefarious conditions, such as paralyzed and stun. Probably took a short rest. Is now the party. Push onward. Elven ruin. Dying? That's not a good hobby. True, brother. Sometimes our hobbies can help with mental health stuff. Just need to find a happy medium. Also very true. Honestly, a lot of these conditions just remove player interaction. Have to go. Because some players' turns might take longer than others. Once I had a dude spend 15-20 minutes on his turn, and then I ended just getting my getting stunned before my turn. Yep. That's what we plan to remove. The biggest perpetrator of those conditions is the incapacitated condition. Incapacitated is what makes you not be able to do anything. You can't do anything if you're incapacitated. And incapacitated isn't paralyzed, stunned, unconscious. We are going to fix that. We're going to change those. We're going to mold them. Still give players an opportunity to play their characters, but still suffer the sort of effects of those conditions. Sorry, boss, I'm late. You're right on time, Skullthrone. We haven't worked on anything yet. I'm doing prep. Once I finish my prep, we're going to work on the dying condition. So you're right on time, brother. What is up, Sizzle? I hope you're working hard, brother. Good. Yes, sir, Master Shaden, right on time. Although I'd like to see combat go over 10 rounds, though. Sometimes it goes over 10 rounds. It depends on how many monsters there are. If it's like one monster, action economy go Bert, and it doesn't generally live longer than about 4 rounds, unless it has like a crazy high AC. But big fights with lots of guys, I mean, you could push it up to like 8, sometimes even 10 rounds, a full minute. It is now that the party push onward to the Elven ruins, where they had met Onwin, the Lady of Morning, and set up camp. It is quiet in the room. Party are able to relax. Right. Visited by 3 night boars. Who they would on Burn Farm. We're gonna make it cooler, more thematic, and more fun. That's right. Don't know if you wanted to hear. Don't know if you've heard of this TTRPG. But now I'm feeling more stable. I want to try and get a campaign with Outbreak Undead. It's a zombie survival TTRPG rule set with rules for serious zombie rules like Walking Dead and The Last of Us. To campy zombies like Resident Evil or Dead Island. I'm a big fan of Resident Evil, so I'll make a RE one. That sounds cool as fuck. I've always been a big fan of making zombies a sort of more like I think the guy who does animated spellbook, oh god, what's his name? Z or Z, I think it's Z Bishu. He did one about more serious zombies, and yeah, where'd everyone go? Bingo. I love you, Leon. You lovable himbo. Z-Basher, yes. He did a great video on making zombies more terrifying. They basically become like one hit point minions, but they give you an infection when they bite you. Once went through a combat that went on to 20 rounds. To clarify, it was a tower defense situation. That show was stressful because resources were running dry. Yes. Yes, sir. You start very quickly realizing just how long 6 seconds is. Well, during the later evening, and Chilleril, she having been become upset, Furia decided to go for doing so. She touched palm Elven art. City of Gold. She pushed. This party really has a love-hate relationship with Elven Archways. You know what's great? The Elven Archway came about. It came about because of the Hex Crawl. It came about because of random encounter tables, and it has served this massive point of interest, which made me fall even more in love with hex crawling. Yeah, the rules vary from like having to aim at certain body parts to certain infection types to just zombies go boom and splat big. I love that. Speaking of Walking Dead, didn't they have a TTRPG come out a while ago? Did they? Had to push against sound shattering. And the party woke up. Headed toward home of the Ebony. Hey, Lurker. I went to the Outbreak Undead thing because it had the most range for the zombie stuff that I wanted. Hell yeah, brother. Or they're able. They smell something foul in there. Terrible stench of rot and decay. Party. Giving chase. Very of what it. Siluril and Uria have some experience. Wearing the party to lenting push up into the fires. Eventually assist them. Roving marker. Map. They arrive. Greeted warmly. Greeted. Good food and party drink. Peace. Elder. What the fuck? Dante, you little shithead. The feast is held in their honor. Share stories of recent battles. This goes on. But place of comfort and rest. They will begin. What the fuck? Jesus, who's mowing right next to my window? It occurred to me that Silenuria had the stereotypical husband soldier dedicated for a cause versus the wife that doesn't want to lose him. Yeah, all of the sound, literally every sound is popping up at once. This goes on well into the night, but a place of comfort and rest, they will begin. Stories and they said, oh, what's that? Crown streaming? Nice. Let's go ahead and do that. This is Foundry, right? Brad Ultimate uses it too, I think. Definitely we'll try something like this. For keeping all the world building in one place, if I could try again. Hell yeah, brother. Foundry is amazing. For your hours. Go get your hours somewhere else. 7 p.m. on a Friday? Time to vacuum. Okay. That one's done. I have so many notebooks lying around, just Pathfinder world building and stats and stuff from years ago. Dude, Sam, my desk is littered with sticky notes of just little things that I've written down. A lot of the time the internet sucks, but it's good for creative stuff like this. Yes. What's great is that I've been able to work on stuff even offline on Foundry. So they have a very affordable yearly subscription. Are you talking about Foundry, Mystic? Because Foundry's just a one-time purchase, brother. Unless you're talking about something else. He is holding that lawnmower right next to my window. Yeah, Foundry is one-time purchase of $50. Incarnate is $25 for a year subscription. If they can't resurrect Snapjaw, what kind of magical items can be made from his scales? Oh God. I don't think anybody would do that in this party. So that's not something I've even considered, Goal. Yes, Incarnate is the map builder. Incarnate is what I use to make my Hexcrawl map. And the Pale Tree map. I use Incarnate to make all of my maps. And hey, if you ever find that you need some VTT maps, because you want to start running your own game, consider subscribing to the Patreon. For $10, you too can get some neat, pretty maps made by yours truly using Patreon or using Incarnate. We just released some city map packs, some towns, all that fun stuff. These maps for TOS, they're part of that same. They're part of the June map pack. Thank you, Tyler. Thank you. Very kind of you. Crown, the second that you don't think players will defile a friend's corpse for better stuff is the day that the Grave Robber arc rears its head. Yeah, that's when the Grave Robber retainer shows up. When Audrey shows up and she starts throwing hands. Okay, TOS. Because it's time for loot redistribution. Holy shit. That's fucking hilarious. What is a man but a miserable pile of loot? We're gonna see if we can steal a... Honestly, I was a little miffed a character came back. They had bracers of defense. Give me your magic items now. Oblivion's inky embrace. A nebulous nightmare. Ooh. Episode 13, Nebulous Nightmare. Move your feet, loser seat. Oh, are you dead on the ground? Your party says, looming over you. Oh, you won't be needing this. Starts just ripping off your magic items. Terrible voices rattle the skulls. Terrible things. Good people go to heaven. Good player characters go to heaven too. I concur. But then the cleric vilifies said party member. That was my favorite bit that I pulled on D. Was D going unconscious twice. First time him being like, guys, it was just dark. I didn't see anything. Second time he went unconscious, he's like, oh yeah, guys, there's not a heaven. There's nothing beyond. When you die, it's just straight up darkness. Terrible voices rattle the skulls of the party, forcing them to see terrible. Oh, wow, I did terrible twice like a fucking doofus. The disturbing images and things in the darkness. Snapjaw, having recently struck a crystal, finds himself compelled to take it. Conflict quickly ensues, chaos erupting within the party. Jesus, excuse me. Justin, what's going on, brother? How's the day treating me? I am fantastic. I'm knocking out my prep right now for the upcoming sessions. And then we're going to hop over and start working on some conditions. Was Orso's strength that powerful, or was the worker that weak? The workers are made out of like sort of like sand and soot and rock, so they're already sort of broken. They already have these deep fissures that run throughout their entire body. Let me show you a picture. So if you look at this guy, you can already see that he has like these deep grooves throughout his entire body, and you can see that they already are sort of fragmented and broken like stone. Obviously, not each worker is the same. But how they're made, they sort of crumble. They sort of fall apart, like fragments sort of fall off of them. And I was like, if you do enough blunt force trauma to this guy, enough with being a half giant hand smacking him, yeah, you're gonna take off his hand. We'll put him over there. We'll put him and the foreman. The Foreman is a beast. I like the Foreman. I really like his ability. He's a buffer. He does some pretty cool shit. He's not really like a main fighter, like a frontline fighter. He sort of sticks to the back. Does a lot of his buffs. So he keeps the rabble in check. So he's in the back of the line doing stuff. These guys are in the front. They get his buffs. So he buffs them. If he's on the field, he's going to start doing some crazy shit. Indeed, Hoyle. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed playing him because his... not only that, his buff ability is a recharge 5/6 ability, by the way. You have to roll a 5 or a 6 on a d6 to get his ability back. He didn't miss once. Every time he re-rolled, he got it. He rolled a 5 or a 6 for his recharge. He went fucking sicko mode that fight. It was insane how good his rolls were. If Crown goes down, if D goes down for a third time, it's actually not that bad, to be honest. Better than this arrow in my chest. Yeah, he probably will. He'll probably be like, "Hey, could you just leave me unconscious next time?" It was actually pretty quiet. I liked it. Danger. The foreman despises communist adventurers with their loot distribution. Every time I see the foreman model, I imagine getting hit by the whip he has. Imagine getting smacked in the face of the fucking rock from that thing. Oh yeah, like the end of his whip has like crystal fragments on it. It's brutal, bro. He has a whole thing, like, he wants to get in close so he can proc his reaction. And when he procs his reaction, he hits you with that whip and does a ton of damage. I'm amazed there isn't a strangle mechanic with whips. Well, I use an improved whip supplement. So whips do more in my setting, but I don't think there's a strangle mechanic. There are monsters that have a strangle mechanic. There's a Morling. I think it's the I think it's the Black Blade. Yeah, so the Black Blade, the Morling Black Blade, has the Strangle ability. If he hits you, you're grappled, and he begins to choke you. Until the grapple ends, the target can't speak intelligibly or cast spells with verbal components. If the attack was made with advantage, the target must make a DC 12 Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, they get knocked out. He basically chokes you out. What if the player then it's the. Yeah, and that's definitely the. That's the meme, right? That's the meme. The Morling choking the character, and they go ha, harder. And the Morling goes, "What?" You could definitely tie an ability like that to Garrote. That's a sick ability. I agree. I didn't come up with it, by the way. That is, I believe that is an orc monster from the Flea Mortals book that has Strangle. And I just like, oh, that works perfectly for the Morlings. I'll just copy that. Yeah. I highly recommend you should go support MCDM's Flea Mortals book. It is amazing. Would you count that as intimidate or something back at the... Maybe. Maybe. However, casting Dispel Magic, Crystal suddenly goes freed from the effect. The terrible voices in the back of their mind. Freed from the effects. Party gather their wits. Oh no. Dance. Hydrate very well. Well, there's another impact site. However, different. Here. Number of strange workers. Just for that, I'm eating sea salt. Do the players in Tales of Sunfall have a cart, or does the owlbear have to carry Snapshot? Yeah, they definitely have to carry him. They don't have a cart. They have to buy a cart or a carriage. Have you ever got back to trying to untangle the Genasi lore problem, or have you shelved it until later? I have shelved it until later. Mostly working on like more Tarosi oriented races, things you'd see more in Tyros than other continents right now because all of my games take place in Tyros. No. Tyros, the Western Realm, also known as the Continent of Kings. This causes the worker to scream in genuine pain and horror. No, Hoya. Snapshot ends the worker as they cower in fear. When we made the workers, chat explicitly told me to make the workers passive, to make them non-hostile. And the only time that they would become hostile is if they were basically attacked or assaulted. So the workers, including the foreman, all that stuff, were basically passive mobs. They were just doing their job. Their job was, like remnants of their past life type deal. So they're peasant workers, right? So when Orso slapped the worker, them being so brittle as they are, it not only took his clipboard, but it also took his hand. And the workers are still like people, if that makes sense. They still have fragments of who they were. So when he hit him and took off his hand, the worker legitimately thought that his hand, like he tore his hand off. So he screamed in pain. And when he screamed, it prompted the other workers to basically like come out and like come and help their friend. And then they watched as Snapjaw fucking brutally killed one, like punched him through the chest type shit. And them all being like, all being the same type of friends, right? Basically came out with a vengeance. And it very quickly turned against the party. There was communication, but it was being misunderstood. People were like, there were orders being given, but nobody was sort of following them. People were trying to do their own thing. When you're just chilling at your union gig and some big man comes up and rips off your arm. Yeah, we also found out that Orso loves corporations and he hates unions. We also thought the camp would... Yeah, we talked about that last night. There were a lot of mixed signals and the party were already on edge. So when one of the union workers came up, the party basically just they just reacted. And as a result, the conflict very quickly turned. It went from a potential RP encounter to initiative, and then initiative turned into a bloodbath. Oh my God, Tyler. Blue collar man exists or so angry. Oh, are you a fucking union guy? Smacks the shit out of you. What is so why does your mercenary resume have a recommendation from the Pinkertons? Okay. Is that Audrey? Yes. That's Audrey the Grave Robber. We also have the Bounty Hunter. We also have Junia. So we've made 3 of the DD characters into retainers. Not cut up. It's all right, Zarky. I put her token down, but we love Darkest Dungeon in this household. As a result, we borrow very heavily from Darkest Dungeon. A lot of our motifs, a lot of sort of the conflicts that the players are going through, all of that fun stuff is derived or inspired by Darkest Dungeon. As a result, I've started using a lot more Darkest Dungeon mechanics, like tokens, right? Getting like a block plus, things like that. And as a result, I thought it'd be really cool to turn the main characters of Darkest Dungeon into retainers that the players can get. So Audrey, the Grave Robber, has her signature actions, which are either pick to the face or thrown dagger. She has Shadow Fade, which gives her 2 stealth tokens. She has Lunge, which expends her stealth tokens. She has a unique ability called Plunder. So if she's with a party member and they get the killing blow, there's a chance that they get double the loot from the creature. It says here that you have experienced union busting. Tell us about that. The dwarves, who I imagine are heavily unionized work culture. Yes. The guilds in Tyros are unionized. There's 2 forms of the guild. There's like the normal guilds, and then there are the royal artisans guilds, which generally work with like the high lords, which work with the high king, all of that stuff. Strength, unga bunga, riz instead of charisma, etc. I'm sure somebody's done that. I'm sure there's some modern TTRPG that does stuff like that, where like you have a skill that's just called riz. Okay, that's my prep out of the way for now. Lads, it's dying condition time. Almost fucking giggling up there. I can hear her. Should I throw that dying thing that I have into Creation Showcase or DM it through Discord? I would work best. Showcase works best. Are you going to be doing XP to level 3's dying condition from the ground up or changing some things to make it your own? Yes. Yes to all of that. The biggest thing is that we are going to be, instead of the dying condition, it now becomes Death's Door. Why do you even need to work on the dying condition? Well, Hoyle, we had a character death this Sunday, or last Sunday. And the way that it came about was a series of unfortunate events. I would like to make the dying condition, Death's Door, something a little bit more manageable and perhaps something more enjoyable for the players. Instead of you go unconscious and don't do anything, now you're given an opportunity. Hello, H2O. Keep thinking you're playing the instrumental version of The Perfect Girl. What's this called? It's called Glitch in Reality right now. One last action. No. We'll get to that. Hold on. Okay. And now, the greatest test of all. Giving players their I won't go quietly into the night moment. Indeed. Do you have any ideas on how Death's Door works yet? Or can we spitball some ideas? Yes, by all means, spitball. I have a general idea of what I want to go for. In a hero. Reach hero. Instead of falling this. Instead of falling conscious, instead enter state deaths. When a hero reaches 0 hit points, instead of falling unconscious, they instead enter a state known as Death's Door. Though they are mortally wounded, heroes are still able to help their companions and eventually themselves. Unlike the normal dying condition from D&D, characters who enter Death's Door will act turns while saving for it. Just a moment. Okay. No, we use the one D&D. One D&D is 10 points of exhaustion. At 10 points of exhaustion, you fucking die. I saw the title and had to think about, would it be fun or a good gimmick to have Death's Door state like Guild Wars 2 or Borderlands, where you get a second win after defeating an enemy? Those types of things we save for like trinkets and potions and stuff like that. I don't want to make it part of the core mechanic. I want those to be things that the players can earn, so that way if they do go into Death's Door and they kill something, they can get a bunch of HP back and shit like that. That encourage a little killy nature, like you gotta get a kill to get a second win. Yeah, I want to make it like trinkets. Like I love giving out little minor like magic items. Like something like, oh yeah, you if you have this trinket on you and you get a kill while you're on Death's Door, like you spend your action to do it, yeah, you'll get like 25% of your HPM back. So for certain characters, it would incentivize them to sort of spend their action. For others, not so much. That's what I was getting. I was getting my fucking symbols. Jesus, where are they? There it is. Danger Noodle, hello. First time chatter. Great name, by the way. If Tegan was able to corrupt the party into gathering the crystals, it'd be a whole different can of worms is what would have happened, and that would be a problem for a new party, and I wouldn't want to spoil that.
So when you're on death's door, you are still conscious, but you're knocked prone and are slowly dying. Players can either slowly move, use an action, or a bonus action. But if you use an action, you get 3 points of exhaustion. If you use a bonus action, you take 1 exhaustion. If you move, you also take 1. I think of it as mustering up all your strength to move. Oh. Oh. I don't want to knock him prone. Because if a ranged character is knocked prone, I don't think you can shoot from the ground, can you? Isn't that a disadvantage if you're shooting from the ground? Oh, see, I wanted to make it like DD, where your character is still like standing, but you look mortally wounded. Like you're slumped over, you're using your weapon to keep yourself up. I feel like prone would be a pretty big detriment because even on prone, you're still getting advantage against you. Which campaign of yours do you think is the best to get into your games? Oh. Well, welcome, food guy. I would recommend the Flagstone campaign, Cometh the Fall. It is a high fantasy, high magic game. Very powerful players, very powerful enemies. It is the adventure that'll go from level 1 to 20. Currently, I believe all of the episodes, except for the most recent one, are all on YouTube. So if you'd like to watch it, why not go check out the YouTube so that way you don't have to navigate Twitch's weird VOD highlight system. That's why I thought it sounded familiar, because of Darkest Dungeon. Correct, Arky. This is inspired by Darkest Dungeon. Do not tell me, Sizzle. Do not fucking tell me you are not powerful. I want everybody to look at Uria's stats, please. Can we all take a moment to look at Uria's stats? With a 20 charisma, a 16 in dex, 16 con, 16 int, 16 wisdom. Can we take a moment to look at her stats, please, and say that this character isn't powerful? Alaric fought a wyvern by himself. 19 AC as a warlock? Yep. Personally, I'd argue CTF is too powerful in my opinion. That's okay. That means I can throw more powerful monsters at them. Smile. CTF also shows how much Crown is willing to adapt and change. Meanwhile, TLS is straight up beta testing and experimental insanity, the game. Yes, very true, Job. Yeah, if you want to see chaos, TOS is chaos. If you want to see like story, character development, engaging narrative, that's CTF for you, baby. The Basilisk Beholder wasn't enough. Next time, Hale, don't worry. I've sort of come around full circle where I was like, man, I don't really like standard array, but also I sort of like standard array now. Crank a nos, you got it, brother. I'm drinking one right now. I got a big mouth nos. Smile. Okay. When your hit points are equal to 0, your movement speed is halved, and you gain the Death's Door condition. At the start of your turn, you will roll a death saving throw. This is a D20 roll where a 1 through 9 is a failure and a 10 and above is a success. You can critically fail and succeed on this roll as well with a natural 1 and a natural 20. Well, hopefully if I get to run another game, Sizzle, it will be standard array. Standard array or point buy. Where do you playtest these new conditions homebrew games? In both your games or in one? TOS is the playtesty game. It's our beta game, right? But when I'm doing mechanics like this, I tend to implement it in both games, because it benefits both games. Like Death's Door is gonna benefit the players. How much of Marana's second date do you have planned out? Very little. That whole like idea of going out hunting, Dominic and Marana, that was top of my head. Can't wait for her to bring him a dead rat. Oh my god. Question: Has the death door have phases? Oh, I mean, technically it has phases in the form of like how many death saving throws you have. By the way, anyone here plan on playing Baldur's Gate 3? Yes, I plan on playing it and probably doing a playthrough with my friends. Marriage, please. Gamer Gal. Hey, yo. Hey, can I ask you a founder question? Of course. What's up, homie? Another thing is that half orc might have to survive Kellen. Ooh. I don't think so, brother. I hope they add more subclasses races in future, even as a DLC or things like that. I need to be able to play as a goblin or kobold. Where are my monstrous races at? True. Where are the goblins? Where are the kobolds? With Marana's added confidence, would she start making the first moves, or is Dominic gonna keep making all the moves? I don't know. That's her character, brother. He's gonna continue making moves. He's sort of in like the courting process right now, right? That's sort of how like the Elion's boys do it. It's this long process of courting, dates, dinners, dances at festivals, and then eventually you ask for their hand in marriage. And she's being very receptive to all of his acts, so. I don't think Kellis is a jealous type, dude. Honestly, I think he's the type of guy who's happy when someone he loves is just happy. That seems to be what's happening right now. Like, the party keeps trying to goad Kellen, but Kellen's just like, as long as she's happy, I'm fine. The only time I'm going to be upset is if Dominic does something wrong that makes her upset. Yes, one of the NPCs in town has become rather smitten with a character. Dominic Bolton has sort of fallen for Marana Lamortia and has sort of begun the process of courting her and has asked her out on a second date now. I'm having an issue with walls because of the grid. How would I fix that? Or align them? Nothing I watch helps, and I make maps on Incarnate. Okay. So I need to ask what quality do you export your map at? I export all of my maps in 8K, so I know the exact grid layout it needs to be. Yes, we have all of our retainers that we've made so far. We're probably going to be making the rest. How do I tell? Go to your recent map that you made and look at its resolution size. When you hover over the image, it should say dimensions, some 1000 x 1000 type deal. Yes, there is, Mystic. Inkley did some very cute fan art. I'm so sad Crusader isn't here to fight eldritch horrors with his stabby boyfriend. Hey, don't be too quick, H2O. There's been some murmuring, some images that have popped up about a certain Crusader. There've been some murmurings. Oh, that's not 4K, Gamer Gal. That looks like that's 1K resolution. I do not actually know the appropriate grid layout for that. Here, stand by. We'll get back to the dying condition in just a moment. So I'll go. Now it gets late and I need to work tomorrow. I wish you all a wonderful and God bless time. Thank you very much, brother. Hopefully you have a fantastic night and hopefully we'll catch you around again in the future. Okay, so pop up Incarnate real quick. Okay. We'll go to one of my dungeon maps. We'll go to this one. You haven't heard of these murmurings? It's mostly on the wiki. Mostly on the wiki where images of a certain Crusader are starting to pop up. Okay, so when I go down to export, already this map is in 4K. When I go down to export, there is a thing called HD Export Experimental. You're going to click that. You're going to drag it all the way to 8K. If your computer can handle it, this is going to churn out a map that's about 20 to 30 megabytes, which is pretty chunky for a VTT map. If your computer can't handle that, then it's all right. You can set it to 4K. For 8K, let's say I export this map at 8K, and then I come back, and I go back to Foundry, and I go over to that particular map because it's one of my favorites. Yes, set it to 8K, and then export. It'll take a fair bit of time. So if I, let's say I just downloaded this map, I've set it to, it's downloaded in 8K. I come over here, I upload my map. I change my background color to black. I set my grid. I change my padding, or I don't touch my padding percentages. I leave that at 0.25. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this grid configuration tool, and it's going to bring up my alignment grid. I don't need to really adjust anything, maybe some minor adjustments here and there, but the number that you want to change is your grid size. For an 8K map, your grid size needs to be 205. If you're exporting in 4K, I believe it's 105. And then, of course, you use your WASD to adjust your sort of alignment to make it just a little bit cleaner. It's going to be partially skewed, but using your WASD, you can set it up to align just a little bit cleaner. Again, if your computer can handle 8K or your Foundry can handle 8K, perfect. Download in 8K, upload it, set your grid size to 205. If it's 4K, same thing, download, upload, set your grid size to 105. I'll see if I can find the thing for you, H2O. And then again, once you've set up your map, once you have your grid size set, you can use your WASD to sort of more appropriately align it. And if need be, because, you know, you might be like, oh, this isn't working, it's not making any sense, it's being annoying, it's not lining up properly, what you can do is you can download a module called Grid Scaler. Once you've downloaded this module, it's going to give you a set of tools that'll auto-align the grid for you. So using some of these tools, like set the X position of the grid, set the Y position of the grid, you can just click, drag over your map, and it should try to configure your grid to the closest that it can. Oh, Raiders! Welcome. Hello. Rollers of Fate. Thank you very much for the raid, and thank you for trusting me with your community. That is incredibly kind of you. And welcome. Hopefully, you had a good stream. I love Incarnate. I want to work on my town, Nifra, and some more. I have plans to make an undersection of the mines. Hell yeah, bro. Skull, your maps have been fucking popping off, brother. They look amazing. Grid Scaler. I'll type the name for you. I'll even type 4K resolution equals 105 grid size. 8K resolution equals 205 grid size. There you go. Hopefully that helps you out, GamerGo. If you have any more questions about Foundry, feel free to ask them. Thank you, mods, for the shout out. Hello, Frost Raven. Hello, Rollers. We're gonna go back. Actually, we're gonna get rid of these guys. I want one of my favorite maps back, please. Okay, so now we go back to our systems, to our Death's Door mechanic. Hey, give me back my picture. The heck, why are you taking my picture from? Perfect. Okay. I like this Death Storm mechanic. Absolutely. So the big thing that I do with my systems is I always leave the VOD available. I never like paywall the VODs. I always make sure to upload them to YouTube and everything like that. But what I do is when I make supplement systems like this, I generally release it to the Patreon first, and then I release it to the public sometime later. However, the videos of us making it will always be available. So if you don't want to throw money at it or anything like that, you can just scrub through the VOD and just watch the system being made. Eventually, this will be uploaded to the Kanka. It'll probably go to Patreon first, and then it'll go on the Kanka. We had a really fun session? Hell yeah. What'd you guys do? What are you guys playing? Correct, Mystic. We just released some city maps, actually. Absolutely, H2O. If it wasn't for you guys, I'd still be in the Stone Age. I'd still be working on like Haynes Keep and shit like that if it wasn't for you guys. Grid Scaler, you don't see the mod? You might have to go to the Foundry website. Let me see if I can't get you the GitHub link. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to go there. Oh, what the fuck? Why is it called Grid Scaler, but Scale Grid? There should be like a JSON file that you can copy and then post it into your module list. Your maps alone are much more than Stone Age, brother. I appreciate that, Hale. That's very kind of you. I'm just loving how the community helps build up mechanics to, help give players more features to play with. Smile. Okay, so far we have Death's Door. When your hit points are equal to 0, your movement speed is halved and you gain the Death's Door condition. At the start of your turn, you will roll a death saving throw. This is a D20 roll where a 1 through 9 is a failure and a 10 and above is a success. You can critically fail and succeed on this roll when you roll a natural 1 and a natural 20. On your turn, you can only use your action, bonus action, or movement. Once you use one of these actions, your turn ends. If you are attacked while on Death's Door, you do not take automatic death saving throw failures. Instead, you are forced to make a death saving throw. So the way that dying usually works is that if you are dying or unconscious and a creature is within 5 feet of you and they hit you with a melee attack, that is considered a critical hit. And as a result, you automatically fail 2 death saving throw failures. We are changing that. If you are on Death's Door and you are hit, you are forced to make a death saving throw. So it's not an automatic failure. Instead, you roll and you have a chance of succeeding. So if you are targeted multiple times, you have a chance of coming out of Death's Door. Ooh. I think there is still an insta-gib mechanic, though. If you take your full hit points worth of damage while at 0, while on death's door, I think you'd fucking die. I think if you're on death's door and you get hit by shit like disintegrate, you're gone. Yeah, I'm still thinking that this gives the players an opportunity. Why not give... That's what... Hey, H2O, hey. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. That was my immediate thought, was giving monsters, very powerful CR monsters, Death's Door. The Louis Swa effect? Ooh. Yeah, I'm thinking things like disintegrate, and other stuff. If you're on death's door, you need to make that save, and if you don't, you're just gone. So I think you're still very mortal. Do you do lingering injuries? No. I already stressed my players out. I don't need them to hate me. Maybe if I ran like a really hardcore game in the future, I would do that, but I look forward to it playing out like DD. A hero on death's door just simply refuses to die and maybe even gets the killing blow on the enemy. Yes. That's what I'm hoping it plays out like. I'm hoping that like somebody like Siluril is on death's door and they just like go fucking crazy. Hey, Merle. I can't spell. How would Death's Door work with something like a Zealot Barbarian's Rage Beyond Death feature? Rage Beyond Death. Let me take a peek real quick and see what that is. Rage Beyond Death. While unraging and having 0 hit points, doesn't knock you unconscious. You still make death saving throws and you suffer the normal effects of taking damage while at 0 hit points. However, if you would die due to failing death saving throws, you don't die until your rage ends. While you're raging, your hit points having 0 hit points doesn't knock you unconscious. Okay. So that's what I was thinking, H2O. I think if they go into Death's Door as a Zealot Barbarian, actually, you don't really have to change anything. The only thing we're changing is the unconscious condition. So they still get to do all of the shit that they would do normally. You don't die if you fail death saving throws. You don't die unless your rage ends. And then you die only if you still have 0 hit points. So nothing changes. Yeah, I think to add a little bit of a caveat or a little bit of a bonus to that would be giving them advantage on their death saves. Yeah, Zealots would get their whole turn, whereas normal people only get an action, a bonus action, or their movement. So Zealots probably want to be on Death's Door. So nothing really changes for them, I don't think. I'll make a little note about that. So that way, in case we ever get a zealot barbarian, because I think zealots are really fucking cool, but nobody else does. Samurai fighters get a similar. Oh yeah, isn't their capstone ability that? I think we talked about that last night. Samurai. Strength before death. Starting at 18th level, your fighting spirit can delay the grasp of death. If you take damage that reduces you to 0 hit points and doesn't kill you outright, you can use your reaction to delay falling unconscious and can immediately take an extra turn, interrupting the current turn. Was he a Zealot Barbarian and I just simply forgot? Oh yeah, he was, Lamau. He was a Path of the Zealot. Whoopsie. When you have 0 hit points during that extra turn, taking damage causes death saving throw failures as normal, and 3 death saviors can still kill you. The extra turn ends, you fall unconscious. Oh, so same thing. Same exact thing. Nothing really changes. Nothing really changes for them. The only thing is that you'd still get your whole turn, it seems like. So Zealot Barbarians and Samurai still get to function a whole turn, while as everybody else is only limited by an action. So those subclass features suddenly become way more important with Death's Door, because everybody else is only getting one thing that they can do. You get to do your whole turn, and you don't get affected by the exhaustion that's going to come with this. Because when you're on Death's Door and you come out of Death's Door, just like in DD, you're going to have those lingering effects, those points of exhaustion that are going to affect your D20 rolls. It doesn't seem like Samurai or Zealot Barbarian are going to be affected by that. What the fuck? Integrate, not ergrate. Disintegrate. So this is where we'll be borrowing from XP to level 3. Because I believe XP to level 3, it's everything gives you a point of exhaustion. Yeah. It looks like if you use your action, you gain 3 levels of exhaustion. Use your bonus action, you gain 1 level of exhaustion. You can use your reaction while you are dying, but you still gain a level of exhaustion. Yeah, sure. We're still we're using Death's Door and a blend of his dying mechanic. Because I like the exhaustion thing. I think exhaustion with 10 points of exhaustion is way more useful now. Monsters can actually give exhaustion, and it doesn't feel like an insta kill. Because even at 1 point of exhaustion in regular D&D in standard 5th edition, 1 point of exhaustion is brutal. 2 points, I think it's at like 2 or 3, it just becomes a death spiral. Is there any way to get rid of exhaustion outside of long resting? I believe there are abilities and spells that get rid of exhaustion. Yeah, 1 level was disadvantage on all checks. So there goes your grapple build. Exactly. Yeah, isn't 3 like half movement? Oh no, 2 is half movement, isn't it? Wasn't it disadvantage on all checks, half movement speed, disadvantage on all saves? Yeah, I'm much more like the 1 D&D exhaustion, which is for every point of exhaustion you have, that's a minus to any D20 roll you make. If you have 3 points of exhaustion, it's a d20 minus 3. You have 9 points of exhaustion, it's a d20 minus 9. And if you're that fucking far in your exhaustion and that you have 9 points, you're probably gonna fucking die. Buffs the fuck out of Berserker Barbarian? Exactly. Because, again, standard 5th edition Berserker Barbarian is garbage. But with 1 D&D exhaustion, it suddenly becomes a viable class. Okay. If you use your action, you gain 3 levels of exhaustion. If you use your bonus action, you gain 1 level of exhaustion. Okay. Will Death's Door cause you to lose concentration? Oh, fuck. Ooh. Ooh. That's a great question, Shay. What do we think, chat? If you go into Death's Door, do you lose your concentration on a spell? My gut tells me yes. I'd say yes because we're too worried. Nodders. Yes. Exactly like a nurse. Okay. Okay. Should be a concentration check. Maintain concentration counts as an action or a bonus action. Ooh. How about this? I'm going to put up a poll. I'm going to put up a poll to get the opinions of the chat. We're going to make it 5 minutes. All right. I've made a poll. Cast your votes. Cast your votes. I've made a poll. Are healers almost impossible to kill if they can just heal while at Death's Door? I mean, yeah, sort of. But healers are already hard to kill. Imagine the Vestal or the Occultist. They get benefits from people being on Death's Door or below like 25 or 33% of their hit point maximum. So a Vestal who casts, you know, their light buff or their heal. Yeah, doesn't Weird Reconstruction? I'm pretty sure Weird Reconstruction. Yes, H2O. Yes. I mean, obviously the crit 0 heal with bleed for 5 rounds type shit. But yeah, they benefit from people being on Death's Door. They heal you more when you're on Death's Door. However, with Death's Door here, you get points of exhaustion. So if a Vestal, if a cleric's on death's door and they use an action to heal themselves, that's 3 points of exhaustion. You eventually won't be able to do that every time. If you get knocked down to death's door again, you're going into death's door with a -3 to every D20 roll you make. So if you're making a death save,
You're rolling it with a -3.
that's no bueno.
Why it could be so scary?
Hey, what's up, gamer?
Oh, nothing. You know, storms just, wrecking the area constantly. Fun.
They can use healing word to sneakily take one I mean, yeah, that's also a viable play, right? They go, I could cure wounds myself at 3rd level, or I could healing word myself at 3rd level and only get 1 point of exhaustion instead of 3. Or they go, I'm going to cast healing word, and then they look at their prepared spell list and go, fuck, I don't have healing word prepared. I have to use my action to heal myself, or I have to use my movement to run the fuck away.
Hey, Mr. DM, what if somebody cast the big heal? Not cure wounds, but heal.
Like, you cast heal?
Yeah, like straight
3
up
points
heal,
of action,
not cure wounds.
3 points of exhaustion.
But what heal does, it also takes away negative things. Would it also get that?
I do not believe it gets rid of your exhaustion. Let me double check. Heal. Heal is a 6th level spell.
I'm asking not because I expect to be able to cast 6th level spells, but just so that you...
Blindness and any disease affecting the target. The spell also ends blindness, deafness, and any diseases affecting that target.
Ah, no. So what about anything that ends exhaustion?
I don't think there's anything that ends exhaustion. Let me,
I forget what it is. Let me look.
Mass heal. Affecting in the blind or deafened. Our word heal.
There's one that I'm thinking here. I'm looking for it.
If you can find it, yeah. Because I'm looking at, Greater Restoration. Yeah, Greater Restoration would get rid of exhaustion. However, if you're casting that on yourself, that's sort of like you can, because it'll get rid of a point of exhaustion, I think, right? Or is it every point of exhaustion?
I think it's every. Let me look.
Reduce the target's exhaustion level by 1.
Oh.
And you end another effect on them. Or is it...
Like exhaustion.
Yeah, reduce...
I choose double exhaustion.
You can reduce the target's exhaustion level by 1, or you can end one of the following effects. So if you wanted, which would be fucking hilarious, by the way, is to cast Greater Restoration on yourself as an action and come out of that with 2 points of exhaustion instead of 3 points, which would be hilarious because actually that wouldn't even get rid of your death's door. That wouldn't even get rid of your death's door because you have to heal to get out of death's door.
I miss contingency spells.
That doesn't even, Greater Restoration doesn't even get rid of your oh god, it tied.
Yeah, that's my fault.
We can work on respeccing Greater Restoration, but guys, Greater Restoration, if you use that as your action as a cleric, you're fucking yourself. You're still on death's door, and you've gained your points of exhaustion and haven't come out of death's door yet. Let RNG take the wheel? Sure, I'll roll a D100. I'll roll a D100. Okay. We'll make it a con check. So if you go into death's door, you immediately have to make... So not only do you have to make your death saves, you also have to make your concentration checks while on death's door. Make sense?
It makes perfect sense.
Cool.
So I heard you murdered somebody.
I didn't murder anybody.
Mm-hmm.
It was an unfortunate situation. They died a very Brutal death.
First time?
I think it was his first time of one of his characters dying.
Listen, you pretty much broke Sizzle and I first go around, so it's just like, okay, we died. That set our okay. This man will kill us.
I still don't count that game as like actual character deaths because that was like everything that could have gone wrong went wrong.
It was a real character death to me. I liked her.
Technically, it was Siric's actions that led to it. I mean, yes. There were a lot of factors that went into that character's untimely death.
When it comes to a lot of player deaths, the amount that have like correlation to other characters' actions, not particularly that character, is astounding.
True. Hello, Rozzy. Hello, you handsome man. We're talking about you. Smile.
Yeah.
Okay. So, when your hit points are equal to 0, your movement speed is halved and you gain the Death's Door condition. At the start of your turn, you will roll a death saving throw. This is a d20 roll where a 1 through 9 is a failure and a 10 and above is a success. You can critically fail and succeed on this roll as well with a natural 1 and a natural 20. Once on your turn, you can use your action, bonus action, or movement. Once you use one of these actions, your turn ends. If you are attacked while on Death's Door, you do not take automatic death saving throw failures. Instead, you are forced to make a death saving throw for each attack or effect you are hit by. However, while on Death's Door, you are still subjected to the normal rules of dying, such as taking damage equal to your hit point total, or powerful effects like Disintegrate. If you use your action, you gain 3 levels of exhaustion. If you use your bonus action, you gain 1 level of exhaustion. If you use your reaction while you're on Death's Door, you gain 1 level of exhaustion. I got promoted. Congrats, Brentley! Drinks are on us. Very well.
I need to start stocking up on diamonds worth, I guess it would be in your world 300 silver pieces.
Correct. But also remember, Amira offers services at the chapel.
Yeah, but Revivify is like, I gotta get to him in a minute.
True, but she also has Raise Dead. So 10 days.
Depends on how far we are from Miss Amira.
Very true. Let me see. With the following notes, prices and services, Elion Steers. For the Chapel of Ebor, she will cast Raise Dead for 12 gold and 50 silver pieces, or 1,250 silver pieces. Diamonds are 300 silver? Yes, H2O, because we are using the silver standard. Things that once cost gold now cost silver. Things that once cost silver now cost copper.
And gold and platinum is just like amazing.
Platinum is you are dealing with like the Bank of Bravos type shit. I will be right back.
Fair enough. We'll see you in a minute. How's chat doing tonight? Nice, nice. I just got off work, so I'm just kind of chilling, relaxing. Am I actually Irish? Yesn't. My grandparents came over back in the 20s and 30s. My 23andMe, pretty much says I'm 98% off the British Isles. There is no other splashes in there. It is straight Irish and Scottish and British. And then cometh the fall, I play a Shield of Iron Hands. Yeah, so pretty much when I took 23andMe, they sent me a complimentary loaf of Wonder Bread and told me to avoid direct sunlight. I don't tan. I turn into a lobster and then I turn pasty again. Yeah, cometh the fall, I'm not gonna jinx it. I'm not saying it out loud. I'm not putting it out there. Nope, I'm not gonna say it out loud.
I'm back.
Welcome back, buddy.
I saw a question before I left. I believe it was from GamerGall. Yes, they see all of these services because it's meant for the players. I have my own notes. I have like the master list on the store and everything like that. But they see the general store, everything he's selling, what the prices are. I have like the actual list of everything, right? Like here's like the general store for Roy's, and then here's the actual like master list store that has every item, every weapon, all of the equipment they could want.
It has everything.
And what I'll do is I'll go through and I'll update stores as the party does stuff. So if the party goes out and they kill a particularly nasty boss or something like that, I'll update the store with new equipment.
So, to clarify the question, I am Irish by heritage, not by nationality. I was going for a wee bit of the Mrs. Doubtfire feel with Ashilda's voice. Momo has said that I sound akin to the chicken from the animated Robin Hood
The
movie.
The mother hen.
Yep.
Love that. How do you feel about the silver standard?
I actually like it. Not the first time I've seen it in game. I kind of like it because it makes gold feel like gold. I don't think economy is everything when it comes to certain games. A broken economy can make things feel tedious, or what's the point? Hey, I have all this money and what am I going to do with it? The way that he's been putting out like gold and everything, he's making it like, hey, we've earned this, and it actually goes towards something. It's not like we have like 20,000 gold sitting somewhere and we're just chilling. Like we are we're earning it, and the silver makes more sense because in like little towns and hamlets and stuff like this, they wouldn't have a shit ton of gold. They would only have silver. Magic items don't make the character, it's how you play it. It's their faults and everything like that. I've seen certain players go through not a single magic item on them until much, much later. I mean, it took a shield a long time to get a magic item. Makes it worth more. It makes it feel good when you get it, whenever there's certain standards to things. So yes, I do like the silver standard.
I also like it. I like it a lot, in fact. It's made balancing the game with money way easier because I had the problem with SOE where they had 10,000 gold at one point, and I was like, they have nothing to spend it on. Nothing costs that much. Why the fuck do they have this much money? I need that. What tier do I need? The goodie homebrew content? Ooh. It is the highest tier right now. It is the third tier, the Champions of the Flame. It is $20. That's why I said that if that's mostly a support tier. You get homebrew content as a result of it, but don't feel the need to, because eventually all of the stuff I make will go public. So I appreciate the support, but $20 it's mostly for the very generous folks who also want to get a little something out of it. Because not only do you get the homebrew content, you also get the map packs. So if you're looking just for the homebrew stuff, perhaps just wait. Eventually it'll go online. I'll eventually be uploading it to the Kanka and stuff like that. But if you want to support me, if you want to throw some dosh at me and get maps and homebrew content, then the Champions of the Flames tier is for you.
Get the map packs, but that's just a theory, a map theory.
Shut up, shut up. Have you been watching so far, Summer?
I just crawled out of bed.
We're working on Death's Door.
Yeah.
I'm going to read it to you. You're going to give me your honest opinions.
Okay.
When your hit points are equal to 0, your movement speed is halved and you gain the Death's Door condition. At the start of your turn, you will roll a death saving throw, as normal. This is a d20 roll where a 1 through 9 is a failure and a 10 and above is a success. You can critically fail or succeed on this roll as well with a natural 1 and a natural 20. On your turn, you can only use your action, bonus action, or movement. Once you use one of these actions, your turn ends. If you are attacked while on Death's Door, you do not take automatic death saving throw failures. Instead, you are forced to make death saving throw rolls for each attack or effect you are hit by. However, while on Death's Door, you are still subjected to the normal rules of dying, such as taking damage equal to your hit point total, or powerful effects like Disintegrate. If you use your action, you gain 3 levels of exhaustion. If you use your bonus action, you gain 1 level of exhaustion. If you use your reaction while you're on Death's Door, you gain 1 level of exhaustion.
It's a lot. In fact, I need to process it more, so I'm taking a screenshot of the stream just to reread it again.
I'll post it in text chat for you.
Too late, I already took a screenshot. Fuck you.
All right. Jesus. $20 is a great way to support a great team. That's incredibly kind of you. Thank you very much.
He always yells at me when I throw money at him.
Me too.
I do appreciate all the support because that support is going towards my next chair because my chair is fucking broke. I'm sat at a 45-degree angle right now.
Dude, get a camping chair like me.
Brutal.
Ruin your knees.
Please, no. I don't need any more pain in my legs.
So my only issue with this, I do like the exhaustion thing and stuff like that. The exhaustion thing is great for Death's Door. But death saving throws in itself are already naturally in the player's favor, which is good. But I think you should add like a caveat, so it's like every time they are attacked, it's not an automatic death saving throw failure. You're instead forced to roll a save. I think for each additional attack, you have a -1 to the save.
Oh God.
So that way there's still like that urgency of like healing the person, stabilizing them, all of that.
I mean,
But
I
it's
think that
still
could work.
like it still adds like that risk factor to it to like get that person out of there.
Yeah.
I think of it like trauma wounds. Like if somebody is stabbed and they're bleeding and they're moving, it's gonna make it gush more.
Yeah, it's kind of like mortal wounds in a sense. So like every time so it's still like giving you that flexibility with what you're having now. You're still able to take those actions and bonus actions, but it's still giving you that like, hey, the longer I'm still here and active, the riskier it's gonna be for me to do fucking anything.
That's brutal. I mean, I love it.
I love it. I
That's
love it.
brutal. I mean,
Because,
I know
I would-
Sizzle's fucking shitting himself right now.
Yeah, I would say for every additional attack, you start taking a -1 to whatever death save you roll.
Fuck. Yeah, okay.
Well, this system is still better than the current death save system regardless, but it still helps like drive in that urgency of, hey, this person's fucking dying. We need to get them out of there now.
Doesn't exhaustion affect death saves? Yes. The 10 points of exhaustion, it's any D20 roll, and that's what a death save is a D20 roll. So if you have 3 points of exhaustion, like let's say you get out of Death's Door, right? Let's say you use your action, you cast Cure Wounds on yourself, 3rd level, heal up, you get out of Death's Door. Now you have those 3 points of exhaustion. If you go back into Death's Door, you're going into Death's Door with a debt. You have a -3 to your death saves now. So maybe when you're on Death's Door a second time, it probably behoove you to not fucking like to not spend your action again. Maybe just run away so that way you can wait for a friend to heal you.
How does something like Spare the Dying affect this?
Oh fuck.
Maybe it would just like.
Oh god. Let me look up Death's Door or Spare the Dying. Oh gee.
Spare the Dying is you're just stabilized. You're still at 0 hit points, but you're not actively making death saves.
Mm-hmm. This is what I'm here for, Ground.
You touch a living creature that has 0 hit points. That creature becomes stable.
Maybe you could make it for something like Spare the Dying instead removes stacks of exhaustion from Death's Door. But only for Death's Door. Like it wouldn't normally remove other types of exhaustion, but just like specifically ones that are incurred from Death's Door. And it's like maybe like Spare the Dying removes like 1d4 amounts of exhaustion levels when used on a creature at Death's Door. That would be great for Grave Clerics too, because they can use that shit as a bonus action then.
I thought they didn't have bonus actions.
Grave Clerics only get Spare the Dying as a bonus action and range.
I thought they were allergic to bonus actions.
Most of the time they are.
I thought they hated bonus. They're like, ew, bonus actions, icky, gross.
Clerics love bonus actions, but only if it's for healing word or to use spiritual weapon.
I never played a cleric before. I wouldn't know what the fuck they do.
They do a lot of shit. Clerics are fun. That's why I play a lot.
Someone suggested a Spare the Dying in Creation Showcase. Did I miss it? On the Brink, using a healer's kit, Spare the Dying cantrip, or any other source to stabilize a creature will set the creature's HP to 0 and put the creature on the brink. You cannot by any means put yourself on the brink, requiring a teammate's aid to be put on the brink. While on the brink, you retain all debuffs that you have during the cycle, but you can no longer make cycle saving throws. If you take damage that would reduce you to 0 hit points, you re-enter the cycle. Huh.
Re-enter the cycle.
You could do it so that like save the or spare the dying also just resets the death saving throws. But like you're still at death's door and you still need to be properly healed with a healer's kit or something like that.
I like that. I feel like